In January, we did my annual 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance program where we looked at one thing you could do each day. Well, we're back with the Compliance Tip of the Day. This is the podcast where we bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. In the chaotic world of 2025 and beyond, compliance will become even more important, and you staying on top of your game will help your company move forward. Today, we take up specifically internal controls around gifts, travel, and entertainment. Today, I want to focus on the question of how to enforce your gifts, travel, and entertainment policies so employees are not free to disregard them at will. The DOJ, in several enforcement actions and the 2020 FCPA Resource Guide 2nd edition, has emphasized the importance of risk assessments and internal controls in building a program tailored to those risks. Many companies effectively minimize the risk of inappropriate gifts through stringent pre-approval requirements because a sufficiently robust and enforced pre-approval policy can reduce the number of gifts simply because of the headache of getting them pre-approved. This is the added benefit of ensuring enforcement of internal controls, largely because of the reduced volume of gifts being included in expense reports. In consideration of the effectiveness of controls, you must keep in mind the most frequently used method for defeating an internal control is splitting the item into multiple parts to appear to stay under the limit to avoid the defined approval authority of your internal controls. The key analysis is whether the controls in place are to enforce the policies and whether the controls are documented. There are 4 issues to evaluate. Number 1, is the correct level of person approving the payment or reimbursement of the gift? Number 2, are there specific controls, including sign-offs, that demonstrate that a gift had a proper purpose? 3, are controls regarding gifts sufficiently preventative rather than relying on detect controls? And 4, are the controls, if the controls are not followed, is their failure detected by other internal controls or compliance protocols? While many compliance practitioners believe that employee expense reports are sufficient internal control regarding gifts, travel, and entertainment, there are other ways in which gifts can be presented, so there may be the need for other controls. Once your company policy on gifts has been finalized, internal controls over the expense reports fall into 3 basic areas. The expense report format, including what information is required, controls over the submitting employee, and the preparedness of the expense report, and 3, controls to ensure approvers do their process properly. Internal controls around gifts can be used in a variety of ways in your best practices compliance program. They certainly can be used to detect an issue, perhaps even prevent an issue from becoming a full-blown FCPA or other compliance violation. However, by using some of the techniques, you can move your compliance program to a prospective phase where you not only stop an issue from becoming a violation, but through identification, you can move towards remediation as a part of your ongoing compliance efforts. The bottom line is that good internal controls make for good business processes. If you can move your compliance program internal controls forward, you can help make them a better part of your financial controls, and thereby you'll have a better run company. Number 1, gifts, travel, and entertainment and compliance internal controls are low-hanging fruit, so pick them and use them. 2, compliance internal controls can both prevent and detect. In other words, they have a multi-purpose role. And number 3, always remember that good compliance internal controls are essentially good internal financial controls, and therefore they're going to be good for your business going forward. One of the things that I'm happy to do for you, the compliance profession, is if you have a question or a series of questions you would like some compliance tips on, I'm happy to take any requests that you might want, certainly anonymize them, and give you a quick tip. Either one quick tip or maybe a week's worth of quick tips. So if you have any tips you want about your compliance program, you can shoot me an email at tfox@tfoxlaw.com. This podcast was created and produced with the assistance of AI.